Hello, this is Randall Standridge. This video blog is going to give you a little bit of information about one of the parts of an upcoming commission that will be premiered very soon by the Little Rock Central High School Band and their director, Mr. Bryce Evans. The piece coming up is called The Nine. It is inspired by and dedicated to the Little Rock Nine, also called the Little Rock Central Nine, which for those of you that may not be familiar with this part of U.S. civil rights history, in Arkansas in the 60s, the governor of the state actually activated the Arkansas National Guard to um, prevent 9 African American students from integrating into Little Rock Central High School. Um, it was kind of a dark moment in Arkansas history. Well, there's no kind of about it. It was a very dark moment in Arkansas history and in U.S. history, but it was important because it was a moment that really tested the resolve of the country into doing what was right and to moving civil rights forward. Civil rights and equality are issues that are very near and dear to my heart. It's a cause that I very much believe in. And so when I was asked to do this commission, I was very honored and very excited, but also a little bit nervous. This is a very touchy subject, a very timely subject, and I wanted to make sure that I could do a good job. Now, the first thing I will say too is I was very excited about the prospect of getting to show a different side of my compositional skills and interests because typically people, or so I've been told, look at my music as good music, but it's not, just super serious. Which I mean, that's open to that. To me, music is all just abstract anyway. So, it's either aesthetically pleasing or effective, or it's not. But apparently you have to, dig into deep subject matter to be considered a serious composer. So anyway, I was excited because this was an opportunity to do that and maybe shut some of those critics up. Thank you very much. And I think I've done a good job with it. I'm very excited. The piece will be premiered in just a few days on September 25th of 2017. And I'm really excited about it. Really excited to see how people will react to it. Anyway, today's video blog is not about the whole piece. I'm going to break the piece up into parts and do different parts about different aspects of it. I wanted to share today, the piece is basically a big confrontation between enlightenment and ignorance. It's not so much supposed to reflect directly the experience of the 9 students or of the community or whatever. It's just this idea of progress versus regression. And so, enlightenment versus ignorance and hate. So, to symbolize that, I kicked around a lot of ideas. I thought about using "We shall overcome." We will not be moved. But that's those pieces are so familiar and so timely to that particular timeline. I wanted to do something that was a little more universal. So I actually decided to write an original spiritual for this piece. This actually turned out to be a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. The tune was easy. I've listened to a lot of spirituals. I have a good ear for melody. So writing the tune and getting that to sound right was fine. Getting the words, however, because there are words to it, that was more of a challenge. I had to really dig into studying spirituals and their structures. And what I ended up finding out was that because of my background, I am not a particularly religious person, but I was raised Baptist. And like the hymns and things that I sing in church, for lack of a better description, they're very wordy. The verses change a lot. There's a lot of different words, and sometimes there's a little bit of a reprise. And so my first couple of drafts of the spiritual were exactly like that because that was my experience. I wasn't satisfied with it, so I dug a little deeper, researched, and kind of broke it down a little more, and I realized that in a lot of spirituals, there's very little change to the words. There'll be a little bit, but it'll be the same refrain just repeated over and over with a few changes, but really getting that central message across. So I made that change and really focused on just a few phrases with a few minor changes, and suddenly it sounded very genuine. In fact, I've played it for a couple people, and they were like, "Oh, nice! Where did you find that?" And I've had a couple people swear they're like, "Oh, we used to sing that in church." I'm like, "No, you didn't." But I also took that as a big compliment. So anyway, here's a little bit of the tune, and then I'll tell you what the words are. So here's the tune that starts the piece and is the tune for the spiritual that I created for this called "Show Me the Light." So that's the tune. The words of which I finally came up with, very simple, but I think very effective, are starts off just show me the light, Lord, hear my voice, show me the light, and so and lead me home through endless night, show me the light, Lord, show me the light. So again, it has that kind of repetitive nature of spirituals, which I find awesome. It's and the challenge, of course, is how to make it interesting throughout the whole progress of that. So anyway, that was the spiritual. And what eventually happens is in the piece is that piece evolve or that tune evolves into the theme and is interrupted by this dark, sinister music that is representative of the hate and the organized opposition to this progress. And so that's how the piece evolves. Let's hear just a little bit of the climax now, so you can see how that tune is used into the climax of the piece. Won't listen to the whole thing, but hopefully you'll enjoy this short segment. Oh, and keep in mind, this is MIDI, so it's computer stuff. Obviously, it'll sound much better with a real live band. So there you have it. That's how the spiritual "Show Me the Light" will be used in the piece. Again, I was very excited to do this. I hope people like it. Incidentally, I will be creating a choral version of "Show Me the Light" with some more verses, some more words. And I may be looking for some choirs to try that out, to workshop it a little bit. So if any of you watching this are a choir director, band director with a good choir friend, choir student, band student, choir, whatever, and you might want to be one of the first ones to try out the choral version, hit me up. So anyway, the piece will be premiered this coming Tuesday, September 25th. I think it's going to be live streamed. But if not, we'll try to get a recording. And I know that Little Rock Central's band will be playing it a few times, not just that day. So anyway, very excited about this piece. I hope you found this informative and helpful. Maybe give you a little bit of a glimpse into the life and creative process of a composer. And if you have any questions, drop some comments below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the lovely afternoon, the lovely fall weather, and as always, peace, love, and music. See you later.